everybody, it is Cinnamon Cooney, your art Sherpa, and this is your patron watercolor class. It's one I'm really looking forward to, both because it's super easy and super cute, which is always a lot of fun when things are easy and cute. I sent out a newsletter. The newsletters had traceables, the reference and the links in them, so hopefully you guys saw that. It also is in your dashboard. It's in a weird wonky space on the dashboard, John. I don't know what it didn't format well in there.
It's jumping all over the place, but it said we had 20, then 15, then 30, then 12, then 15. So we probably got like 20, 25 people here, I think.
Oh, no, I meant on their dashboard. It was weird.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I don't know. I hope everyone is here today.
I think that
I don't know what to tell you.
Being time travelers as we are, we get to see everybody. So hello, everyone.
So this is what we're painting. It is going to be watercolor. You could do this on paper with your acrylic paint, just watering it down like it is watercolor, and it will stabilize out really well because acrylic will do that into paper. I am using our less expensive watercolor kit that we offer on our store, but also realize that these are available here and there. And the reason I'm doing this is so that you guys can see that this will be cute in student paint, and that it's okay to do student paint in watercolor. It's like completely fine, just as long as you stay away from Windsor Noon.
The water dish.
The water dish. Do you guys love my water dish?
Okay, hold on. I'm going to go.
It was 75% off at Joann's.
Hold on. We got to go.
This is my gifted Escoda brush that I'm going to be starting with you. Just any round watercolor brush that you have.
Isn't that cool?
He's real cute. I got him for the cheap too.
Hello, you can read your own chat. See, there it is.
Sorry. Hi, Cindy.
We're high tech.
I see Joe McDuffie and Patty and Diane.
We have super high tech.
And Heather Kay. Ready for tonight? I will paint along while my kiddo has an appointment, at least for the first half. I think that is very cool. And I bet your kiddo will like this painting when you get back. So this is what we're using. On these, you just use the closest color to what I'm using. So I've got two reds here. You'll notice one of them is kind of a brighter orangier red. And then I have one that's a darker, kind of more magenta, bloodier red. So those are the two. You just find something similar on. If you have the Crayola palette, you'll have two reds. I've got an ultramarine and a phthalo blue, and you'll have something akin to that on any palette that you have. So just know that that's sort of there, and we'll talk about that. I already have my image on here, but there is the traceable. I always come in the back. I go on the back, but on this one I do something different, and I'll just explain why and what it is just real quick in case how is that missing? Literally, there it is. It rolled away. So this comes in the kit, but what this is a graphite pencil. It's by Watercolor, and I do that on the back of our watercolors on our patron thing. You can use a regular HB pencil. Totally okay. It would be fine. It's just this isn't a graphite one. You rub the back, you tape it down, you trace over firmly the lines, and if you do that well, you should have a duplicate of your image there. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to prime it in the water, meaning I'm going to get it thoroughly wet and soaked in, and we'll start just painting the hat. Now on this set, this is actually Payne's Gray. It is not black. I'm just going to paint right from the set. Actually, let me put the band on and put its teeny tiny little watercolor brush over here. So this set comes with a little band to help you hold it. And that's kind of fun. So I'll try to be able to make sure that you see everything. The nice thing about Payne's Gray is that it has an almost blue cast to it, which makes getting all these little values perfect. And the first layer of this is just going to go in Payne's Gray. I'm just going to fill in inside the pencil mark. Now these pencil marks will activate with water and kind of blend into the painting. But if you just use regular pencil and they were showing, oh my gosh, you guys don't have to worry about that at all, because in traditional watercolor, especially in the most gorgeous, fresh urban sketches, their pencil marks are all over those showing. So you don't have to worry about that. You're just being all fine art fancy. That's what you're doing. If somebody asks about that, you'd be like, that's what the fine artists do. I'm just I'm just being true to that, that experience. So you can see we just go light at first. Everything is still damp, right? And then we're going to come in and we'll add depth and color. So I'm going to load heavier. The paint has been activated by the water on this black gray. And I'll come in from the base and paint in a darker value of that. Now, the differences between the student watercolors and the really good watercolors is probably the pigment loads, like how hefty the pigment is, and then also how much color shift that you'll see. I'm going to paint it dark, mostly on this side and this side, leaving a lighter value as we go. And the reason that I'm doing this wet into wet is so that the edges all soften into each other. That's all that's happening here. That's fun. And I'll just like leave a little bit kind of in the center there. That is a little lighter. That's how you get that kind of soft little micro shaded effect. Oh my goodness, you guys, I have been working so hard on Thankful Art Week. Really hard. I got out the newsletter. On top of your newsletter, I got out the Thankful Art newsletter. It's a big newsletter. Big. And pretty excited to get that out. I'm ready to do that event. Let's paint the rest of the hat. Same way. Same way. You just paint the first part of it the lighter gray and come in. I hope to see all of you guys for Thankful Art Week, or that you have stuff that you like for that, because if you think about it, you guys are something that I am thankful for, and it's why I could do that art. See what I did there, John? Mm-hmm. 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 Now, I'm going to go ahead and let initially the edge of this hat kind of bleed into the gray down here. That's okay to do. You can just keep coming around there. You can see I just go in and get water when I want to load up my brush, make it thirsty.
Now, Cindy saw the newsletter with all the Thankful Art pics, and she's really excited. Can't wait for it.
Oh, I think it's going to be really good. I think it's going to be really, really good. We're just going to be chill and kind of only focus on art. Only art. Just have a bit of a safe space for an hour or two in the week. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Going to continue to add layering in these colors. Now it'll be darker subtly right here, kind of implying the shading of that hat as it comes round, and definitely darker on the outer edge. This would be a good one for the Viva color sheets as well. This set is by Sennelier. I think it's the La Petite 12 half-pound set. Is what they call it. I believe I'm correct in telling you this. I believe I am. We'll see. I'll just keep adding dark value here. Building up color so that the edge of that hat. And then there'll be this real trick when it's all dry where we come back and glaze with another layer, and that will deepen it up. It's just going to take the 3 layers to get the extreme depth. And that would be an area where you're different, like a Payne's Gray on a core, or the Honey Watercolor from Sennelier would just go so dark initially. Like right off the bat. Now he has hat. We like that?
Yeah.
Rinsing out. You know what I forgot to do?
What's that?
Put out my paper towel. But I have a towel over here, so I'm okay. I just saying. I usually have out a paper towel, guys, to catch the extra water in my paint. But I did not do that. I will grab my other towel, which is just a regular hand towel, and I'll put it here, capture the extra water in the paint. Sometimes you need to do that with watercolor because the brushes can get really juicy. Juicy. Now, we don't use white paint in our watercolor. Even though it is here, we don't really use it. We preserve it. So I'm going to keep my little white teeth, hopefully by just not painting them. Does that seem like a perfectly good plan?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Donna says the hat's already perfect. And I see that Linda Sue has made it. And everybody's saying hi to everybody. And I'm so glad to see so many people here. I'm glad that the patron classes, to be honest, you guys being here does give me energy.
It does. She's super excited whenever you guys are all here.
Yeah, I really enjoy it when you guys all show up. We're going to paint all the eye a very, 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 very light gray. Very light gray. This is the only place where I may come back with like a white other thing. And that's just because I don't have Frisket with me today to hold the two little white reflection dots. But I'll show you the trick for that. And if you've been painting with me for a minute, you have everything you need to do that. You wouldn't have to worry in any way. Guess what?
What's that?
I do have to dry it.
Okay.
The reason is, and I'll show you, if I were to do the orange while this hat was still black, the black would go into the pumpkin and it wouldn't stay this preserved orange. And also the eyes would then bleed into the pumpkin. So, you know, if I were just at home doing a nothing, I might just get up or pull another painting in or just kill about 15, 20 minutes while the paper pulls in all the water and everything surface dries. But for the purposes of classes, I have a tendency to hair dry them. I don't highly recommend it in watercolor because as the pigment settles into the paper, until it's completely dry, it's ever changing. And you want that change. You want that softening. You want those effects. They're really gorgeous, and you want to take them away. If you didn't see yesterday's painting, this was available to all level of patron.
Ooh. I'm going to take off the little...
Isn't that gorgeous? It's a nice acrylic, and I have the sister watercolor to this on Facebook.
Oh.
We did a similar one on Facebook. Let's try this.
So, guys, thank you for coming. We really do enjoy having you out here. It's really nice to see everyone. Let's see here. You guys know all the stuff that we need to cover during break, so I'm just gonna say love to see you guys. Thank you for coming and hanging out. We'll keep those newsletters coming. We'll make sure we try to keep you guys in the know of when we're gonna do this kind of stuff. So other than that, just hair drying action. That's it. So oh yeah, I'm doing lots of improvements in the print shop, so we should see more books and stuff like that coming from our production facility. That's pretty cool. I'm actually very excited about that. So you guys should stay tuned there. The store is filling up with stuff. We have lots of partners that we've been in contact with. And so over the next, I'm hoping, weeks, we should have lots of cool stuff showing up into our stores. We have lots of new products. Oh boy, that we haven't even talked about yet with partnerships, and those should be available for pre-release pretty soon. So just saying that we've got all sorts of stuff showing up into the store, and some secret projects that are going to be available for pre-release pretty soon.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I see that Linda's talking about her 137th birthday. She looks super good.
Mm-hmm.
She looks super good, 137. I'm going to say something out loud. Just because it's patrons that I wouldn't say out loud on my regular show.
I'll hit mute.
Don't hit mute.
Okay, fine.
Don't hit mute. Don't mute me. Don't silence me.
You don't silence me.
Okay, I know I just got a bunch of pink and purple and light pink hair dye, but I've been feeling this wild urge to go red again.
That could be fun.
Could that be fun?
That could be fun.
It's like I was thinking about it today. I'm like, maybe just for winter.
You know what? You know what would have been a good idea? If before you went live and announced that you went and bought what you wanted off of Amazon so it was there later when you wanted it.
No, I think to transition, I think what I've got to do is I've got to pull as much of the fantasy dye out of my hair. I'm taking yellow and I'm going to paint him yellow first. I think I need to go to that salon that Linda found.
That salon?
That Linda found, yeah.
Linda found.
But I'm wondering, like, sometimes, like when I wasn't wearing hats, it was like everyone's like, "Where's your hats?"
Where's your hat?
Not wearing one right now. I like them when I like them. And then, sometimes I like have John's been with me for a minute. He can tell you, my look kind of changes with my mood. Seriously.
Don't get me involved here. I'm not speaking anything here. I don't know
You're
nothing. I know
Why
nothing.
are you worried about being involved? I'm just going to paint yellow
you
around
can
you.
ask me. I don't know nothing.
What do you think? What's your thought? I know you never want to weigh in because you never want me to feel any pressure. I was like, what would happen? What would happen?
What would happen?
I don't know. It's been a minute, though. I was kind of pining for it today. Also because I don't know. I always like to change it up. Now, I did buy a bunch of purple and pink and light pink dye to do like a tri-hair. And then I bought some feathers to go in my hair and some Mylar. So I may still do that. But it's just been
cool,
a weird mood. I get in weird moods. Yeah. And you would think I would be a person who would have tattoos, but I'm so moody, I won't get a tattoo. I will do henna, a temporary tattoo, but I won't do a permanent tattoo because I'll do a thing for a while and then I will get over it and then do another thing and then get over it and do another thing. Always so hard to tell. In watercolor, and you can see I'm just putting out this yellow and very light washes, we build up lightest to darkest. So it's kind of the opposite of acrylic in some ways, because acrylics oftentimes we go from our medium dark tones to our lighter and lighter tones building up. Kind of a different type of thinking, you might say. I'm going to continue to just do this. It's nice if the paper is wet as I'm going through this application process. That way the colors continue to soften and kind of find each other and blend into each other. So Diane says red, red, red. And your mom's always up for red. She thinks red is... Oh, everyone's like super like, yeah, red would be okay. I am a natural strawberry blonde. Like for real. And I've had the sunburns to prove it. In fact, I had to go have my annual skin... Well, it's not annual, but I try to get them pretty often, skin cancer checks. Because I had enough really serious burns as a young girl to have to every once in a while just, take a look at things, make sure everything is okay. Because my parents both tanned, so they had, not being redheads themselves and both being tanning people, they had no idea of the amount of sunscreen that a very fair child with freckles would require, or how often reapplication actually was needed. So it took them a minute to work it out. So I had some horrific burns. Horrific burns. I actually used to have a patch on my nose where the skin had peeled so deeply there was almost an indent across this. And I used to get blisters and that's kind of dark talk if you've never had a sunburn. I've just had some serious sunburns.
Yeah, no.
Not as an adult. I wear sunscreen because, being in excruciating pain and not being able to lay on your back at all.
Yeah.
While your back oozes with blisters leaves an impression that makes you very motivated to go ahead and wear that sunscreen. I'm going to go ahead and start working into my bright orange.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought that would hang with you? And I'm going to see the paper is wet. And so this is going to allow me to work this in, but it will soften out. Even as I add perhaps more orange or more reds or get it darker, it will soften out as I go. And I like that about it. Moderator Sienna says lots of redheads in their family. And Patty was like, she was thinking red the other day.
Yeah.
And I love that I've inspired people to do fantasy color. I love that. I love that I've inspired people to just go ahead and go for it. I feel like many of us manic panicked when manic panic wasn't good. And we paved the way for these fabulous hair dyes and these incredible shampoos that keeps our hair these amazing colors.
You've earned them.
I've earned all the color. I mean, and if you've seen pictures over time with me, I've been platinum, I've been deep red, I've done the henna reds. I've done all the reds. And then here's the other weird, okay, y'all are going to laugh, and John might laugh, but then I was like, am I an age where I can no longer be a redhead?
Have you?
But I think that pink and purple is okay.
Right. You're, yeah.
Maybe I'm too mature to be red anymore.
No, man.
What do you think, babe?
I think that you can have whatever color hair you'd like.
He never puts pressure on me to be or do anything. Never has, never will, I'm sure. Which is kind of nice. My dad had a lot of opinions about appearance. A lot of opinions about appearance. A lot of therapy to get through that. My dad's a lovely, lovely, lovely person, but he has Asperger's. Doesn't know he has Asperger's, so don't tell him. But he does, and so sometimes he does not recognize the impact of his words. It's just challenging growing up. See, we're in that kind of middle space with the oranges, and we continue to go forward. Now, I do like to take this orange and a little bit of this red and kind of get a halfway mix between them as I'm going. And we will want to deepen it, kind of coming down that center little space. And remember that there's color shift, which this will lighten as you go. All right, it's gonna lighten, it's gonna do those things. You've got to be really ready for that in your watercolors. Whether you're doing a student or pro, they do lighten in the same way that acrylic likes to darken. Linda's like, I wore it red till a few years ago. Yeah, Linda's got like this fabulous, like she's going for, do you know, I follow them on Instagram. There's a couple of advanced style models that I follow on Instagram, and they're doing that really like extreme silver hair that's so gorgeous. Have you ever seen that? Linda's rocking that like lavender in there. She's got some like lavender and some really gorgeous silvers, and they balance out well together. Not to out you or anything, Linda. It is pretty. It's very nice.
Is it very nice?
It is. It's very nice. Your mom's hair is nice. Come along there. Let's continue to red, and then we'll come on the outside, maybe stronger, you know, because pumpkin. And you can see he's just oranging up, right? Beautifully. So we work these wet into wet areas kind of first, and what that allows us to do is get these soft edges. Watercolor just rocks the soft edges. It's the best at it. Other paints are super jealous. That watercolor is a soft edge mastery. Their paints go, man, I couldn't do that at all. Watercolor goes, I know. Just coming on the outside edge. So where it would be casting a little shadow, you can just put a little more pigment down there. And of course on the bottom, right, you would have darker colors on the bottom because it's where his little bum is. His little pumpkin bum. What? You weren't thinking about his little pumpkin bum?
Nope.
Just adding more color as we go. And you can see it just builds and blends into each other. That's what makes watercolor super fun. I think he'd be nice on cards. I think he'd be like good in a lot of crafting activity. Also just a pretty painting. I have a lot of seasonal paintings. I didn't change my artwork out of my house for the season. There we go. That's doing pretty darn good. I'm liking that. Now, while I've got it here, I'm going to come here to the center of his eye. And I'm going to take my darkest color, my gray. I'll go ahead and make a little circle and another little circle. We'll see if we can do it just this way. And we'll paint everything in at first with a gray, a lighter gray. I've reserved my circles. I've reserved them, John. The orange is just dry enough to not pull the gray in. And that's something to watch for. If it's still shiny and it's going to pull it in, you'll have to dry again. So kind of a light gray there. And then you're going to go get a lot more of the darker color. And I keep building it up. But not, interestingly enough, you want some of it to stay this light gray. So I come on the toe of the brush, just the edge. Now what's amazing about this Escoda Perla number 12 is it just, the point on this is just crazy. Like you really don't need a second brush. You would not need a second brush.
Gotcha.
Right in there, go like that. And continue to build out the pigment, letting that eye get that kind of really wonderful double shaded effect. One likes.
Yeah.
Letting the little bottom be like, oh, a little bit. And if you get too far into it, you can take some paint out of your brush and you can come back up and lift. Either you've got a paper towel or you've got a towel. So you can see how I can lift color back too. So that's one of the other areas that watercolor tends to be a little different than acrylic, in that you can relift it. Moderator Thalo Blue says that she colors it so much it's hard to get back to a platinum blonde. That's true. Like, really, honestly, some of the consideration here is I probably couldn't do a strawberry blonde from here. Even if I remove the fantasy color using one of the fantasy color removing shampoos and let it rest and condition the heck out of it and then took it in, I probably would have to do like a pretty red.
Yeah.
Would have to do a red just because that would be the only thing that would work with this. You know, sometimes it's like that.
Yeah.
Loading up. Now let's try to do another little circle on the toe. I am going to come back with my jelly roll, or you can come back with acrylic paint. Like get these and make them better. But it's nice to leave them lighter. Makes less work for the jelly roll. Or the acrylic. Traditionally, though, you would pull no other medium in.
Just so you have a pureness.
Yeah. I, however, have already like lost my reflections. So I'm going to have to pull it in there. I'm just going to take this out. That did not work. There you go. I'm just going to put it in. It's just going to be easier. I'm just going to use my acrylic paint and put it in. But yeah, so say I was just trying to do it pure. Like for some reason, I was trying to do a traditional watercolor and I want to enter it in a watercolor category for Giorgio or something. I would use Frisket to hold the white is how I would hold it. I would get like a perfect round and then I would use Frisket and then I wouldn't even have to worry. I like his little watercolor eyes. I'll lift up that underneath there. I can even come in here and come around my dark color on the outside. I can come around with my dark color on the outside. Let that have a little rest for a minute. Remember I talked to you about the hat? I'm going to come right here, load up into my black. And you can see as we glaze over, it just gets at that one extra value to pull the brim from the top of the hat.
Yeah, that's good.
That's what you're trying to do, is just have that one deeper value to pull the brim. And today's Tuesday.
Tuesday, all day.
If you are our top level patron, a power patron, and you're here, don't forget Eagle and Flight. Next class is tomorrow. At a weird time, it's at 1 Eastern because we have the Watercolor Wednesday on Facebook, and I didn't want to bump that class. You guys will get an email sometime in the morning. I'm going. I'm going. I'll just bring this around here and then maybe even kind of add a little shadow right there. Just making sure that that brim feels, different.
A little different.
A little different than what's around it. Rinsing out thoroughly. And sometimes it takes a couple minutes, especially on a good watercolor brush, to get all the pigment out. And that's because the pigment will be in the belly thoroughly. Jennifer Bowman, I've been in Fort Worth when it's snow. We Canadians were the only one on the road. No, Texas freaks out if there's snow. Like, legit freaks out. Like, completely goes. Like, if somebody can scrape together frost on their mailbox, they're like, close the school. Everything is impassable. I'm going to grab a little bit of my brown here. And maybe a little of my red, like red and brown. And I'm going to come here and start to talk about some of the little rebels.
Rebels.
Pumpkins have the little rebels. Ew, they have rebels. Darker value. Bring that in. Coming along. We're nearly done, guys. Taking this along here. Watercolor. It's just so peaceful. It's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to come in and maybe get a little of my red just to make sure that there's some darker value here. Come over there. Get some eyebrows in, as you do. As somebody do anyway. I'm mixing my red and my orange. Ensure that there's some just darker value under the hat.
Gotcha.
Now, if I want to soften that, I just take a damp brush. And as you can see, I just blend that. Using a damp brush, I can easily move it out because the paint goes where the water is. And this is another reason a lot of people like to work with watercolors, is it'll do that for them. And come in with maybe a little brown underneath my eye some. Now I'm going to dry again, and that's so I can do the next bit. I need I think I need a lift here, though.
Yeah?
I'm going to lift again. Right there. I want there to be a distinctive little bit there before I even come back with the next layer, like that softness. So I'm going to dry real fast.
Okay.
And then we're going to come back.
Okay. So, I think this is looking really cute. This is a very, very neat little dude. Let's see what you guys got going on over here. Oh, there it is. Hello, everybody. Just looking out here, and I see Jennifer and Diane and Linda Sue and lots of our moderators, Patty. Thought I saw some folks up here earlier that were chatting. Oh, Tina. Yep, I saw Tina here. Hey, and Anne and Sylvia. Hello, and Barbara, Cindy, Kelly. Hi, guys. So nice. And Katie. Good to see you too. And Barbara. I have said Barbara already. Wow, yeah, we got a lot of folks here today. So it's good to see you all. I think there she is.
Did it, did it, did it. I'm going to get into my gray again. Re-wet the brush, get into my gray again. Payne's gray. You could use black though. Just make sure the mouth is a little bit darker.
Little dark.
Yeah. Carefully around these teeth, hopefully not needing to repaint them in. You never know. I'm gonna put out white paint, so I could if I lost them, I could. And then I'm gonna come back and kind of maybe work the eyes a little bit. Another little layer. Creating some depth. And also where the gray is soft and diffused. A nice look. Come in and let's give ourselves some eyebrows. Because expression makes it cute.
It is
Eyebrows
very
make
expressive.
things cute. And come off the top of the front of the lid, and I'm going to go flick, flick. And then come over the top. That's how I'm going to get my lashes.
Nice.
Cuteness. For cuteness. And I'm going to come with just the toe of my brush and just a little bit of black. And we're going to just kind of talk about some of the little lines. Not everyone, just a little bit. And we don't want it to be too dark. So in this particular sense, the fact that the gray is kind of light is almost really helping us. And we can add some of these little pumpkin-y marks. You know, pumpkins have marks. Ogres have layers. Pumpkins have marks. Things happen. I'll tell you what else. I'm making the assumption that I can even get in and see anybody in the salon, considering that, you know, every day it's a new, like, safety rating everywhere. Can't take that stuff for granted. There we go. Looking pretty good. So I don't want to ever use acrylic on this brush, and I could use my Jelly Roll pen to make the eye dots if I wanted to, but I'm going to take out my white acrylic and put just a titch of it up here above my water thing. I'm going to grab a round brush I have for acrylic. This is a number 4 Silver Silk Ultra Round, and it works in watercolor or acrylic, either one. It's a softer brush, so I keep it with my soft brushes. That's why it's here. And I'll go ahead and... Now, you could also do gouache. Or acrylic gouache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see acrylic gouache.
Acrylic gouache. There's really only one real acrylic gouache, which is the Holbein. All other acrylic gouaches are a lie.
There can be only one.
Oh my gosh. So funny. Making that second little popped reflection. While you're here, if you want, you can come in, and if you have to have a good point on the brush for this to work, but you can also come back in and resharp. Whoop. There we go.
That looks pretty good.
I'm going to go ahead and just sign with pen.
Yeah.
For convenience, it's completely allowed.
Boy, we had a really awesome crew of people here tonight.
Yeah, this was a good one. Thank you guys so much for showing up. That made the class a lot more fun for me.
Yeah.
When you guys are here, that energy like lifts me up and makes like really fun for me to do the classes, and hopefully fun for you guys to enjoy the classes. And I hope you like this little project. This is one of those fun ones where if you're dipping your toe in acrylic, it's a great place because it's just going to be a cute pumpkin. That's its direction that it's going to go. You know, don't forget to check out yesterday's class that we did. That was all level. And then Eagle and Flights tomorrow. And then Thursday, we're back to the Big Art Quest Oya, where we take the grid and we start taking those skin tone classes that we did on that first lesson and applying them to her. I'm pretty excited about that. I imagine we'll be at that for like an hour and a half. Be good times, good times, good times.
I think so.
Oh, what causes the pale patches in the orange, and is there anything I can do to avoid them? You mean like right here? If you mean right here, we actually worked really hard for those. So what's going on? Why is it pale? Is because I do lighter, like light washes, and then build and build and build and build. And hopefully what I get is this sort of very expressive area, and there'll be these very, very light values. That's something that I want very much in that. If I want a completely even application, it would be a matter of putting it out very evenly, allowing it to dry, then putting another layer evenly and allowing it to dry. And you may even want to think of gouache as an option, because that is a very smooth application of paint. It's very buttery, and it goes out. It's opaque and self-leveling, and it doesn't leave a brush stroke behind. It almost looks like a lithograph print. And then you build up and build up and build up on that as well. So it's pretty cool. Oh yeah, my birthday painting. So excited. Well, I think the girl in the blue dress is also your birthday painting, because we're doing that on your birthday. And then I think she's also very fond of Red Queen, which has got to be coming back. If you're ever wondering about Red Queen, know that Linda advocates more for you than anybody could. She's like, are you going to, she even goes to John, she's like, are you going to get that easel set up so we can do the Red Queen? So she's there for you. Cindy says bottom chin. What about bottom chin? Cindy, his bottom chin. I don't know. We like that he's got a chin. His chin. Okay. So I'm so glad that Kelly Dusher says she's Kelly D. Wow. You're gonna see me in person sometime, and you're gonna tell me how to do that. Kelly Dutcherer. On the chin, the spot that she's talking about. Oh, do you mean the way the water pushed the pigment back? Okay, so what happens in painting, like this spot was wetter than the areas around it. Some of it was dry. And as the water was settling into the painting, it was pushing the pigment back. I could go back and kind of smooth that out if I want to with a wet brush. But again, moments like that in watercolor are something that I really like and seek out. But that's what causes it, is there was like probably somewhere I dropped, like if I take a drop of water and then I put it somewhere, as that drop of water sinks into the painting and then goes out, it will push, it'll push the pigment in the paper out a little bit. It's a weird thing. And it's not, that isn't technically granulation. That is where the water has pushed that out. Where did I get my water dish? Joann's 75% off of all of their Halloween decor. They don't even know who I am. I'm just telling you, it's not like a sponsored thing, but it was Joann's. So definitely check them out. They had some cute stuff on sale. I got some cute towels and everything too. They had some really good things. I really like it when they put their little decor thingies on sale, because then I'm like, oh, well, that's the price I wanted to pay for it anyways, was the 75% off price. Never wanted to pay the list price, ever. So I just wait for that sale. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other, and I want to see you at an easel really soon.